I love a little fish on his back of his tank. That's really cool. Little floaty shark. Oh, yeah, you hear that? You hear that bang? Yeah, it's hemorrhaging, yeah. Hi divers, and welcome back to another scuba dive reaction video. Today reacting to... that's a French title. Let me give this a quick whirl. Explosion tuyau.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'm gonna get Google Translate to tap in for this one. Google Translate, do you mind giving a hand here? What is it? How do you say this?
Explosion tuyau deuxième étage détendeur, incident de plongée.
Exactly. Just how I said it. The good thing about this though is that I can see the title now, and it says it's a pipe explosion, second stage regulator, diving incident. Which obviously, if I hear the word explosion combined with scuba diving, yikes on bites. That's not a good thing. Makes me think straight away about like underwater mines. I'm expecting not that to be the case. I'm assuming when it says pipe it means hose. Second stage, obviously that's the mouthpiece part of the regulator. First stage is the part that connects from the tank to the regulator itself. So if it's a second stage regulator explosion, I assume that just means it's a free flowing regulator and it won't turn off. So obviously if you've done the open water course, you are very much aware of a free flowing regulator, how to handle it, and you're probably aware of how much gas and pressure you lose typically when that's happening. And because of this big leak, you're obviously going to want to end the dive straight away. You want to get out of the water because that leak could be very fast. But we'll see how to handle it on this dive. As always with these kind of videos, it's not to be mean to the divers involved with the accidents. It's to use these videos as a case study so we can have safer and happier dives ourselves. And obviously I'll throw in my expertise as a scuba dive instructor to give you any tips and tricks along the way. With that all said, let's jump into the video. Go press play now. Bit of beeping going on, not sure if that's computer freaking out. Honestly, if this is your computer by the way, fix that before a dive. That's going to drive not only yourself mad, but also your dive buddies mad too. Usually it means you've gone over depth limits or something like that, potentially, but we just have to guess here. Looks like a nice reef though. Is that asking where's the boat? Did you just ask boat? Where is it? I'm guessing it's an instructor who's doing all the signalling. That's very instructor kind of vibes going on. I love a little fish on his back of his tank. That's really cool. Little floaty shark. Oh, yeah, you hear that? You hear that bang? Yeah, it's hemorrhaging, yeah. That is a significant enough hemorrhage to want to end the dive. Yeah. So if you saw that on your buddy, you'd be like, bubbles. That's a signal for bubbles. He's staying very calm about this. So he's taking it off his gear to check it. That's good to see how significant the gas leak is. Okay. And that's pretty significant. If I was him right now, I would go share air with a dive buddy because there's clearly other people around. Okay, so train's under control. Share air with them, and then you can actually put your BCD back on, turn the tank off on your BCD then, and then put your BCD back on, secure it around yourself, and then end the dive safely while not having to worry about the leak. Oh, yeah, that's good. His buddy's trying to share air with him, but he said no. Weird. Okay. But yeah, the reason why you turn the tank off, by the way, is to stop obviously this tank running fully out of air and then saving you have to do a visual inspection. But also on top of that, it also just means whatever the damage is happening to the equipment, it's going to go even further with it. That's good, it's finally accepting air. Yeah, I think he's handling this really well. I love how calm he is. He's doing a very good job at staying calm. Now if I was him, I'd put on the tank so you're not have to mess around as if flapping around on the surface or potentially having it get in between you and the other diver. But we'll see how he does. He's just sorting out his hosing, it looks like. Also, yeah, now you can turn off your tank as well, dude, so that'd be great. Is he going to do that now? Also, why is the POV gone so high? I should have mentioned that earlier, but the guy who's above has clearly gone too fast up, hasn't he? Because he should have stayed with these other two divers while they're at depth, and then when they got together, then they could have done it all as a team. Good, he's turning the tank off. Okay. You should go put this back on now, just because it just has your hands free and available again, and then you can actually make proper buddy contact with the other diver. Why did you turn it back on? Why did you do that? Just a test to see if it stopped or not? Maybe? Okay, and then did DSMB. Ideally, if I was the one showing her, turn your body so you can have more space. Oh, she's given him the... Why not just get them to do it themselves? Why are you having to do that and getting them to hold your equipment for you? Just put on the BCD and then... I don't know. On his other surface, guys. So yeah, explosion definitely happened. That was a loud bang. I'll play that back for you just now. That was a significant noise. If you hear that, obviously, thankfully the divers on the group could see it. If you do see your buddy's tank suddenly do that noise and you like notice all the bubbles, the signal is this. This means bubbles. It's typically not used in recreational diving, but it is used when you do side mount and when you go into technical diving. It's quite a common signal there, bubbles, and then you point out where the bubbles are coming from the diver. Obviously with single tank you notice just from your main tank. But yeah, once you notice that signal issue, I would then think the correct course of action was to share air, which thankfully he did, and also did it very calmly, which I thought was very good. Also good to see him inspect his tank. That's obviously a good thing to do if you're the only instructor on site, which I assume they are, which is why they inspect it themselves to see, is it just a small leak or is it a very significant leak? And obviously since he saw it's a significant leak, he should have gone straight to the buddy then, especially the fact they were offering the alternate. Just accept it, and then you can turn the tank off. And I'd say I would have put on the BCD for 2 reasons. First reason is it just lets you have both your hands free and available for the rest of the dive now, for the obviously the ascent to get out of the water, which is obviously a lot more handy. It allows you to have one hand making buddy contact and another hand free and available, and then you could obviously deploy DSMB a lot easier if you get them to hold on to you while you have your hands available, or you could hold on to them while they're doing their DSMB deploy. So that's the first reason. Second reason is once you get to the surface, you can then orally inflate your BCD and you have your buoyancy device on surface. So it just makes it a bit more safer when you get to the surface and not have to worry about your equipment drifting away from you, drifting around, potentially getting between you and your buddy who you're sharing area with, making a lot of obstruction there. So there's a third reason actually on top of that all. If I'm going to criticise, as I think he's a little bit slow on taking the alternate out, but that's very much a nitpick. The other thing was as well, the DSMB deploy, they started the ascent before they deployed it. Realistically, especially how shallow they were, they should have deployed that first and then done the ascent. I don't know as well why he took the DSMB off them to do that. I don't know why that was the case. I assume if a diver has a DSMB on them, they know how to deploy the surface marker buoy. It feels a bit weird that he took over that. It had very much instructor ego vibes to me. I don't know if anyone else is going to agree or disagree on that one. For me personally, he kind of came across as if he was going like, I don't want to look bad in front of my students, so I'm going to look calm, I'm going to look at it all over my equipment and whatnot. That's partly why he didn't accept the alternate straight away. He didn't want to see himself receiving help. And then when it came to the DSMB deploy, he wanted to be the one to deploy it to show he's in control. I don't know, I think there's a bit of ego going on there. At the end of the day, we teach divers as instructors how to handle emergency situations, and it's good that you copy what you are teaching and following those rules. You're having a situation there, go to a sharing air situation. Then when the divers got DSMB, you let them deploy it. They have both the hands free at that moment. You're holding onto your tank, whatever. They had both the hands free and available to deploy their DSMB. They should have done themselves, realistically. If you are leading the guide, obviously you could just tell them, deploy DSMB. That's the signal for deploy DSMB. Some people do it like that. Some people do it like that. If you have an alternate way, let me know. But I felt like it was a bit like he has forced himself to take control and do a lot of situations there where delegation, working as a buddy team often comes into mind. But obviously we don't know what the standard of the other divers were in the group. So that might have been why he was feeling the need to take control so much. I'm just going to check out the description now to see if there's any context. Oh yeah, of course. It's all in French again. Back to Google Translate. Okay, so in Google Translation words, the benefit of maintaining your diving equipment. Yes. Okay, I didn't really mention that, but 100%. So even if you're a fantastic diver, even if you're super experienced, even if you've got all the other basics down so you won't make mistakes in the water with your actual technique, equipment still can fail on you, and this is why you still need to know the emergency skills and how to keep yourself safe if things go wrong. Equipment failure can be a thing what can catch out even experienced divers. Now ideally, you are looking after your equipment. Post-dive, you're rinsing out with fresh water, you're not whacking it around on the sides of boats or doing anything silly and clumsy with it. You are taking care of your equipment very much so. If you own your own equipment as well, things like regulators should be serviced once every year, just to make sure they are in good working stead, and that avoids kind of issues like this happening. It doesn't mean they can't happen, there's different things happen, and obviously how much you use your regulators, how much you go diving, etc, etc. This is going to change, and how much wear and tear they're going to have, and even the best equipment has the ability to break on you on a dive. So obviously, yes, look after your equipment, but doesn't mean it's immune from this happening. So next paragraph, explosion at the start of the dive. Okay, good to know. The low pressure hose, 20 bars of the regulator. Okay, so good to know having at the start of dive. So that's probably why he was extra calm as well, because even though I'm guessing that means it's 20 bars of pressure they've only breathed so far, so only 10% of the tank's been used. So he had a lot of gas to work with, so it wasn't like he was in any major rush. From what I could see in the footage, the leak actually looked like it was coming more nearer the first stage than the second stage, what it mentioned in the title of the video, but it's obviously connected to the hose from where you can see the bubbles are coming out of. I don't know exactly what that fault is, so if anyone's a bit more equipment savvy than me and knows what's going on there, please let me know what the fault might have been. It might have just been the hose broke or whatnot, or maybe it's something to do with the attachment to the actual first stage. But I can only make assumptions guessing at it. But as you saw, the amount of bubbles coming out of the tank, that much gas hemorrhage, is just an end of dive situation. I know you're correct to end the dive there, but obviously because of how much pressure he probably was working with, that's why he was extra calm, in no real urgency there to do so. And then the final paragraph just mentions about the guys, there's a dive master, something about a dive shop, and that this dive was in the Philippines, which I did say the dive site looked nice. Philippines is fantastic diving. So yeah, it makes sense, all that. But yeah, I think personally they handled the dive very, very well. I loved how calm he was. I think it's correct to end the dive. I think they handled that super well. Just a few things, a bit more urgency might have been a bit nicer to see. And also just deploying the DSMB before the descent. And he also had that one buddy stay with the group instead of being higher than everyone else and ending the dive sooner than everyone else would have been nice. But it's very nitpicky. At the end of the day, they stayed safe, they stay calm, and that's the main thing to avoid accidents. If you think I missed anything out though in the video, please leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed or liked the video, please give it a like. It helps me out a ton, but helps other divers find this video too. And if you want to see more from myself, Narked Tom, feel free to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon to get notified when I post my next video. Anyway divers, I hope you have awesome and safe dives, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.